Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, host on Tech Digest, and on popular demand, we are comparing the siblings U Eureka with the U Euphoria, which is the newly launched phone, and they both have a lot of similarities and I would say less differences and more similarities in terms of softwares, in terms of features, in terms of what they have to offer you. They are both incredibly good value for money. In this video, we are going to compare these two and we'll focus on the dissimilarities or differences between these two. Let's get started. I'll start with the first feature, which is very important for any smartphone, that is the display size and display quality. These phones are of different size. There is a 5-inch 720p high definition display on the U Euphoria, whereas there is a larger 5.5-inch but again 720p high definition display on the U Eureka. When it comes to display richness and quality, there is a sharper per pixel per inch density on the Euphoria because it's smaller in size, but when it comes to color quality, there is a difference that you can instantly notice between these two phones. If you see that white background, it looks slightly bluish on the Eureka compared to Euphoria. This one has a slightly warmer temperature of display, whereas this one has slightly colder temperature of display, which means that white will look slightly bluish on the Eureka, whereas it will look slightly yellowish on the Euphoria, and this is because of difference in the color temperature of the display, which is a normal thing and which is nothing to be worried about. But I thought I must mention you because there is a considerable difference in the color tones, but the quality of display is very good and very appealing on both. I'll play back a quick video on both of them and place them together so that you can see the difference for yourself. So when it comes to display and color quality, it's totally up to you whether you prefer warm tones or cold tones on the display. I personally prefer warm tones and they look more natural and more soothing to eyes. However, there is nothing bad with the display of the Euphoria as well as Eureka. You can pick one that suits you better. When it comes to audio playback quality, both phones are well sorted and they deliver good sound quality. Let me play an audio track on both the phones one by one and show you how well they sound. I'm gonna play the same track one by one. This is the Euphoria and this is the Eureka. As you can notice, the loudness is slightly better on Euphoria, so if you prefer sound experience, you can go with Euphoria for slightly better experience. Another difference lies in the camera capabilities of these two phones. There is an 8 megapixel sensor on the Euphoria on the rear, whereas there is a 13 megapixel sensor on the back of the Eureka. So I'm gonna click a picture with both of these cameras with same angles from in automatic mode so that we can give you a qualitative comparison between the two. So let's do that. I'm just changing it to automatic mode and this is the result that you can see. The colors again look slightly colder and bluish on this phone, but the clarity is better on the Eureka compared to Euphoria, which is not capturing as much details as you can see on the Eureka. So if I zoom in closely, you will find that the wheels go blur on this image on Euphoria, whereas the Eureka is capable of maintaining the details and the color tones are also slightly more natural on the Eureka. As you can see here, the real object is more close to this color compared to this color, which looks slightly more washed out. So when it comes to rear camera, the Eureka is better compared to the Euphoria. Another major difference between these two phones is the performance and the kind of processor that power these two phones. There is a Snapdragon 410 chipset which is powering the Euphoria, which is clocked at 1.2 GHz and it's a quad-core CPU with 4 cores clocked at 1.2 GHz each. It has 2 GB of RAM and there is a Snapdragon 615 chipset on the Eureka, which is faster and gives you better performance. It also comes with a faster GPU. This one also comes with 2 GB of RAM and they both come with 16 GB internal memory, out of which around 10 GB is available to the user. This GPU here is Adreno 306 on the Euphoria, and on the Eureka it's a Mightier 405 Adreno GPU. The difference in CPU does make a difference in the gaming performance. Comparing these two phones on gaming performance, the Euphoria is slightly behind Eureka when it comes to gaming performance with a Mightier CPU and a Mightier GPU. Let me show you a brief gameplay on both of these phones one by one. After playing one level of game on this phone, we have reached temperature levels of around 36 degrees and we are in an air-conditioned room. I'll play the same on the Euphoria as well as Eureka and show you the temperature difference. The aiming is more precise on the Eureka, which comes with a Mightier GPU and CPU, and the temperature after a gameplay is close to 38-39 degrees, which you can see here. So it's slightly warmer compared to what we got on the Euphoria, which comes with a Snapdragon 410 chipset, which heats comparatively less compared to the Snapdragon 615 that we get. Another difference on software level between these two phones is that USB OTG pen drive is supported on the Eureka, whereas it is not supported on Euphoria. Let me show you the difference. I am in ES File Explorer, which is a commonly used file explorer, and I am plugging in a USB pen drive, USB OTG pen drive here, and you can see that the local storage is changed and a U disk is showed here, which is the external pen drive that we have connected here. And we can also just eject it by hitting on this eject button from the local storage. This will eject the drive, and this drive is now safely removable. Whereas when I connect the same drive on the Euphoria, there is no notification, there is no change here, and this drive does not show up in the storage setting as well. We have done separate video and test on the OTG functionality, and we have confirmed that on this software it does not work. There may be future software updates which may make it work, but as of now it does not work on the Euphoria, whereas it works on Eureka. Another difference which may matter to many users is that the Eureka comes with LED notification up top, whereas there is no LED notification on the Euphoria. One more difference between these two phones is that there are bezel buttons which are backlit on the Eureka, and there are on-screen buttons on Euphoria, and these buttons are configurable. You can change, add, remove buttons. You can watch our frequently asked question videos for the same. Having on bezel buttons leaves more usable space on screen, whereas there is some space which is occupied by the buttons on the on-screen button display of the Euphoria. Also on Eureka, you can move the buttons on screen and off screen. There is an option which says enable on-screen navigation bar, which is under button setting in Cyanogen mode settings, and you can see that the buttons move to the display when I enable this option, whereas they move to the bezels when I disable this option. This option is not available on Euphoria, and there is no setting here on Euphoria for the same. Another difference is the battery life. You have 2230 mAh battery on the Euphoria, whereas you have 2500, which is slightly larger battery on the Eureka. But in practical usage, you won't find much of a difference in the battery life because both these phones run similar software, and the larger phone with larger display has larger battery, so it kind of offsets the benefit of having a larger battery. They both will give you similar sort of battery life, so if you are concerned about battery, you can pick either of two and they will be equally good. And one more major difference is in the build and construction. The Euphoria comes with a metallic frame which gives it a more premium look and also makes it slightly more sturdy compared to the plastic construction and build of the Eureka. However, Eureka itself is a well-built phone if you look at it in absolute terms. So if you prefer metallic phones, then Euphoria will attract you more compared to the Eureka. Both phones are very good value for money in their own respective segments, and you can pick either of the two that suits you better. We have already highlighted you all the differences that will matter to you. If you enjoyed watching this comparison, don't forget to give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below. And if you want to pick either of these two, I'm leaving direct links where you can buy one from Amazon India in the description section below the video. We have done many more videos on the Eureka as well as Euphoria. I'm leaving direct links to the playlist in the description section below this video. This is all we have on this one. I hope to see you on my next video. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.